Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Welcome back to the Voiceover Casting Corner, our live podcast and Q&A, where you guys get to ask us anything. So I'm Kelly Moshinsky. I'm the owner and head of casting here at the Voicecaster, and with me is...
Hi, I'm Catherine Horan. I am Senior Casting Director here at the Voicecaster.
Yeah, we always love doing these monthly events, so we're so excited to be here with you guys. I see we've got people watching live, which is always great. We love that. I know a lot of people watch the replays as well, and that's fantastic. Just trying to be here with you guys, give you as much information as we can, answer all your questions, all that good stuff.
We have an exciting topic today too, which is demos. So I know people are always asking questions about these, always want to know everything there is to know. What demos do I need? Do I need a demo? All that good stuff. So we're here to answer and give some guidance there.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion on demos. One of the things that I find is that people often, they're like, do I even have to have a demo? Like, we audition for everything. And first of all, the answer is yes. You have to have a demo. I mean, it's your headshot and resume for voiceover. I mean, that is how you get yourself out there. Obviously, you're auditioning for a lot of things, but we are also casting a lot of things just based off of demos.
Exactly. I was going to say, even if you have an agent and you're not necessarily needing to shop for a new agent, you still want to have a demo just for that reason, as people do cast off of demos. And if you don't have a demo reel, you're not even in the conversation.
Yep. And that's union and non-union. We're actually casting a SAG project today that is demos. So it's like, if your agent doesn't have a demo to send us, or we don't have your demo on file, you're out of the running for that. And it's also, there have been many times that we have also been asked by the client, like, okay, these are our top 3 people. They have their short list, they have people they like, they want to hear more range from them just to see what they have to offer. And in that situation, then they often want to hear a demo. So it's like, what's going to sound better as, sort of a callback, a fully produced professional demo versus, oh, I have some other samples, but they don't have a demo. So, you do have to have a demo. You want to have a demo. That is a great way to show your range, to show casting, to get representation.
Or even just to put on your website so you've got content to share.
Have something out there. Exactly. Like, I mean, people even share them on Instagram and, things like that. It's like, get it out there. There is nothing wrong with that. Like, I'll listen to demos as I'm scrolling through Instagram and, see somebody posting their new demo and things like that. So it's like, to get it out there is great. And then the next question we often get is, what demo is actually needed? What demo do I do first? And the answer is always commercial. If you only have one demo ever, it has to be commercial. And I say that because that is how you're going to get representation. That's how you're going to start reaching out to casting directors. That is what everybody is listening for. And then, of course, beyond that, if you're interested in animation and you're like, oh, I want to do characters for video games and things like that, then put together those demos.
Exactly.
If you want
everything else is gravy.
Yeah, exactly. It's all the bonus stuff. It's like, oh, great. If you have a narration demo, perfect. Send that over. If you want to do audiobooks, do an audiobook demo.
And only do demos for stuff that you're interested in. Like, sometimes people want to just have as many demos as possible. And it's like, well, if you're not interested in these, if this isn't an aspect that you have training in, you don't need a political demo or a narration demo or an animation demo. Only if that's something you want to focus on.
Yeah, it's the things that you really want to pursue, Yeah, exactly. You don't, there are people who have like 7 or 8 demos, and
you can have a demo for
fine. As long as that's what you want to pursue, it's like, otherwise sometimes it's like, we look at that and we're like, oh, okay, they have 10 different demos. Like,
and if you only have like 6 months to a year of voiceover training, you shouldn't have 7 or 8 different demos. Like,
And a good demo is going to last you a while. That's the nice thing about, it's not like headshots for on camera where you have to get new headshots once or twice a year. a good demo is going to last you several years. And even then, it's like you might only have to update it with a new spot or two. It's not like you have to do a completely new demo every single year. So yes, it's an investment, but it's an investment that should absolutely
pay off
a good return. Yeah,
you'll make your money's worth off of it. Yeah,
absolutely. And then you'll pay for multiple other demos down the line. So
exactly,
you'll be good. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. And then the next big thing that I want to make sure we touch on is, do we put demos together with actual spots, or do we produce spots for the demo? So this is one of those things that people are like, oh, but I don't have real spots to create a demo, so that's why I don't have a demo.
No, that's fine. You don't need real spots.
Yeah. Not at all. Not at all. And that's the thing is, I personally, and Catherine might feel the same, but I feel like we can see someone's actual range better when the spots are produced for a demo versus actual spots. So that kind of goes back to what I feel like I'm constantly saying, is that there is the difference between the audition that books the job and the final spot. So think about that. If all of your demo is just that final spot read, then it's not specific. So often you're not hitting all of those different things that you can do and really showcasing your range. Whereas if we're producing it for the demo, we're not worried about it sounding exactly like the final spot is. It's going to sound good. It's going to sound like a final spot.
It'll sound
it's going to be fully produced, sound like a final spot. But it's going to be more specific. If we're going for a certain type of read, it's going to be specific. It's not going to be the smoothed out, watered down, hit the sales points, final spot read. So yeah,
that's something too. I find if you're just putting together different actual spots, they might not. I mean, depending on what the quality and stuff is, and they might not sound good together. So that's something too. If you're just taking literally, here's my spot that I got from the client or that I downloaded off of YouTube, and you just put it together, your levels might be all over the place. And it just might not have that nice, smooth flow from one spot to the next that you would have with, professionally produced demo where it's, you re-recorded the actual spot or you put together new spots. So that's something too. You don't want it to sound jarring or like, here, I just put these things together. You want it to have a nice flow and all kind of have the same levels and feel nice and even.
Yep. Yeah, it's important that, overall the quality is good, and it's like sometimes we can't match things. Sometimes actors pull spots from whatever source, and so it's not a high quality version of the spot. So then it's like we're trying to battle like, oh, okay, this audio quality isn't going to live up to everything else. So definitely thinking about that. And then, audio quality too sometimes can make it sound like it's an old spot, and you don't necessarily want something on there that is going to date the demo. Even if it's a spot you recorded last week, it's just a lower quality recording of it. If it sounds like
20, 30 years old.
Yeah, no good. And that is also something too with demos, is like you have to make sure the products that are on your commercial demo are still
around.
Are still products.
No Payless on your demo, Toys R Us.
Yeah. If you have Blockbuster on your demo, it's time to record.
It's too old if there's Blockbuster.
And sometimes people are like, oh, but I like the spot, so I recorded it, last week for my new demo. And it's like, yes, but record current companies, current brands, things that are still around.
And try not to have dates in your demos either. Like, it's the new 2024 Honda Civic.
Yep. Yep. Anything that can date it. I mean, even sometimes it's like the all new Galaxy S22 Ultra.
Technology
is like
the worst. It's the worst.
It changes so every year. So it's like if something is more than 2 years old, it's probably time to replace it.
So try to make those kinds of things a little more generic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's something that we do with
the all new
our
iPhone. iPhone's going to be around forever, but don't put what year or what model it is.
Yep. You can just say the all new iPhone. You can edit the copy like that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is nobody is paying that close attention on your demo to be like,
no, they want to hear what you
iPhone
sound
will
like.
always have a specific one.
Yeah.
It's okay. And the idea is that it sounds like they're all actual spots that you have booked, so it needs to be things on there that are things that you could actually book. Sometimes I'll have clients come back. So say we're casting a medical spot and they get to that point where they're like, okay, we like these 3. Can you send us demos? We send them demos. Sometimes they will come back and be like, oh, does so-and-so have a medical spot running right now? Because we heard one on the demo. And it's like, no, obviously we'll check with the talent because there's tons of demo producers out there. So it could be a current actual spot. Hopefully they didn't audition for it because they would have a conflict. But, most of the time it's like, the clients don't necessarily know the difference. They don't know if a demo is produced just for the demo or if they're, actual spots. So, and that's the whole point of it. So to sell you, to market yourself. And I do want to add that, no matter who you do your demo with, so obviously we produce demos here. There are tons of great demo producers out there. And they vary in price. It's like our demos start at, our commercial demo is $1,300. And it kind of varies for narration. We also do animation, video game demos. But ours start at $1,300. Which, we can do a jingle that adds a little bit more, that kind of a thing. But it's one of those things where, you want to have your demo produced professionally.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to make sure, no matter who you're working with, that they're tailoring it to you. You don't want a cookie cutter demo. We have heard those. You never want to take a class that ends with the demo being produced with the class. Those are terrible. It's just not professional. It's,
you might not be ready. And, if this is your first voiceover class, you're not going to be ready to do a demo after one class.
Yeah. So, yeah. You have to make sure that you're ready for a demo. It is an investment,
Mm-hmm. It's your first impression to people too. So you want to make sure it sounds good and that it's a good representation of you. You want to make sure this is all stuff that, you want to market yourself as that this is what you do best, because I always tell people it's just as important to know what you do well as what you don't do well. And there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, that's not something I'm comfortable with, or that's not something I can easily do. And it's good to know those things. So you know your limitations so that only the stuff that you can just pull out of your back pocket, put on that hat, you can do, that warm medical read. You can do that friendly upbeat read. You can do that heavy sell if you need to, that kind of stuff. Knowing what you do well and what you see yourself doing. This is the stuff you want to book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's one of those things, no matter who you work with. So obviously there's scams out there for everything. But there are going to be people out there who will do your demo no matter what, and it's like, whether you're ready or not, whether you do well in the session or not. And then also, keep in mind that ultimately it is your final decision. So often I have people who are like, well, I trust your opinion, let me know, what do you think of my demo and that kind of a thing. I am more than happy to give feedback and advice, but I always tell people I am one person. Every single person you listen, and I do this in my group classes where, we'll listen to a few demos and we'll talk about them. And when there's, 12 or 13 of us in the room talking about these demos, of course we're going to find things that we don't like or that we love. That's exactly it. Everybody hears things differently. It's all subjective. So you can reach out to casting directors, you can reach out to your voiceover friends, you can reach out to your agents, managers, whoever. But ultimately, it needs to come down to, is every single spot on your demo a strength of yours, something that you can get right into? And do you feel like that demo showcases you?
Exactly. Like one of my pet peeves when we do demo meetings with people and they're like, oh, you guys know me, I'll do whatever you think is best. It's like, okay, yes, but again, this is your demo. I want it to be something you're happy with, something that you feel good about. It's not my demo.
And we've had to cut things on demos that were like, oh, I love
I know.
spot.
I
But
love
something
that
is like,
spot.
I don't like that spot. It doesn't feel like it's a strength of mine. And I'm like, oh, I love that
Isn't
spot.
that, even though it sounds awesome.
I think you nailed it.
Yeah, if you're not comfortable with it, yeah, you don't want to have it on there.
Exactly. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's like people,
everyone has an opinion.
get opinions from all over. I have somebody, we did her second demo a few years ago, and she's established already in the voiceover world, and so it was a new demo for her. And her thing was that she sent it to people, and she came back and she was like, so fascinating to report that every single spot on the demo had one person at least who would cut it. And every single spot on the demo had at least one person who said they loved it and it was their favorite. I mean, that is a perfect example of it's so subjective.
It is. Yeah, yes. Different people, you're going to get 6 different answers. Yeah.
Yep. So that's the other thing is like, sure, get feedback. That doesn't hurt, especially if you have multiple, people that you know and trust giving similar feedback and you feel the same, then obviously that's something to adjust. So that's
and get feedback from people that know what they're talking about too. I always wonder. People say, "Oh, I played it for my friends." It's like, okay, but do your friends know anything about voiceover or acting or just someone off the street?
I remember one guy a few years ago was like, I played it for my wife and she said it just doesn't sound like me. And I was like, does your wife hear you read commercial scripts very often? Right. You're probably going to sound a little bit different when you're on a fully produced commercial, Yeah. So yes, absolutely.
So take those opinions too with a grain of salt.
Always. Yeah, and it's demos used to be a lot longer, so it's now it's 60 to 90 seconds.
Nobody has an attention span anymore.
Over 90 seconds. No, and that again, it goes like we do the same thing for demos that we do for auditions. It's like we will listen to the first few seconds. Obviously, like when we're first, getting demo submissions from people and, debating on adding them to our roster or not, consideration like that, we'll listen all the way through. But when we're casting, a lot of times it's like we'll listen to the first little bit and then, maybe we'll jump through the demo a little bit. So, there's not much of an attention span these days. So, all right. So I see a few questions about
some
demos
good questions
already.
in the chat.
We'll jump right in there. So Nora, do you do demos or demo updates via Source Connect? Yes, we do a lot of demos remotely.
You just have to record on your end. So make sure you've got a good recording setup.
Yeah, just to make sure we get, high quality. But yeah, we do demos remotely, so definitely feel free to reach out to us. Dominic, good advice. Yep, do not need every type of demo. And Jeff, have you ever had to, I should just pop that up there. Okay.
I actually did that the other day. I had a guy, he had only taken an online class where it's just a lecture thing. He had not actually interacted with anybody, gotten any sort of feedback, and he wanted to do his commercial demo. And I was like, okay, well, what do you do well? Do you have an idea of what your strengths are? He's like, no, not really. I was like, you know what? Maybe get a little more training, get some feedback from some professionals, and then let's circle back to this. So yeah, if I really get the sense that you are just, almost just off the street, you've never had any actual training, if you don't even really know yourself as an actor, I'm going to tell you it's probably not a good idea. Maybe take some classes, get some, training feedback through a workout group or something, and then we can come back to it. And
here's the thing, like, we're on your side. We're not doing that to be rude. We're not, it's like we're trying to help.
You're happy with what you get.
And we want you to be able to put your best foot forward. We want to make sure that you're ready. It's not about the money. It's not like, because there are demo producers who will produce demos for people who have never done anything in voiceover. We are not those people, because it's not about just like, oh, let's produce as many demos as we can and make a bunch of money. We want you guys to be putting your best foot forward, and it's like all of our expertise is coming from the casting side, the people who are actually listening to the demos. So that is, that's it. It wouldn't be right for us not to give our advice, and it's like we've even had the talk with people who have taken classes, where it's like they didn't do so well in the recording session, fine in the classes, they knew what they wanted to do, that kind of thing, didn't do so well in the recording session. So then they've come back and talked to us about like, am I ready? Should I have even done this? That kind of thing. And luckily, it doesn't happen too often. Most people who get to that point are ready. And we do coach you through the recording session. Again, though, it's something you need to be able to get a script done in a few takes.
On the flip side of that, we also every so often encounter people that have all the training and they are ready, but they're afraid to take that final leap and they overthink it. It's like, oh, am I really ready? Oh no, what if I make my demo and I don't like it? Or, it's like, no, trust yourself. If you've taken classes, if you're getting good feedback from people, you're probably ready. It's okay. Take that step and make that demo.
Get that dive in. Yep, we've had people who have like taken every class that we offer, done all of our workout groups, done private coaching with multiple of us, and still are like, I'm not sure I'm ready. And it's like,
no, really, you are. It's like if I did your demo tomorrow, I know it would be good.
Yep.
Like you're
and
ready.
That's the thing is like, it's really easy to get stuck in the loop of training, because then you never have to put yourself out there. You never have to risk the rejection. But you're also not getting the rewards, so it's, think about it. All right. And then let's see. Oh, Jeff had another question. Let me pop that one up. How often would your clients come back in for pickups based on feedback and tweaks they want to make to the demo? So we do include re-recording up to 3 spots in our demo rate. Other demo producers sometimes will charge if you need to do pickups, that kind of thing. We do get a lot of coverage. So a lot of times when somebody comes back and they're like, oh, this word feels a little muddy, or I wish I had more smile on this line. A lot of times we can go back in the recordings from the original session and find what they're looking for. It just wasn't what ended up on the demo, so we can swap that. But we do have people come back in to re-record, if they're like, oh, I know I can do that better, then we'll absolutely do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Pickups happen all the time for actual spots too. So yeah, that's something that happens. Not everybody does, a lot of people are happy with it. Some people just want to hear a different order. When we send the rough cut after we have it fully produced, it's just not mixed and mastered yet. But when we send the rough cut for the talent to hear for the first time, we have it in a specific order. We have things
for a
cut
specific
down.
reason.
It's complete except for mixing and mastering. So sometimes people are like, oh, I really like this spot. I think that might be a good opening spot. So can we just switch the order? We'll do things like that. We do some back and forth. We want you to be happy. We want it to show you in the best possible way. Yeah. Yep.
And kind of with what Nora was saying too about doing adding a spot to a demo that already exists. We do demo revamps too. So if you did your demo with us and maybe a year later you want to change up a spot or two because you're like, oh, now I feel like I can do this and that's not on my current demo. We can always record a spot or two and then just switch it out for a couple spots that are currently on your demo. So that's always an option too.
Yep. All right. And I see, Jeff, you said it took 8 years to make your demo because you were so hesitant for a long time. Yeah. It's easy to get stuck in that loop, and it's easy to always second guess yourself. And, it's yeah. But you know what? If you have been studying and you've put in the work, do the demo. And then if in 6 months you're like, oh, I don't like that spot. You either cut that spot or you record something new or re-record that spot, you know. There's
Exactly.
always options.
It's
you know,
not, that's
your
not like your one
first
demo
is
forever.
not forever.
Yeah.
In fact, no matter how much training you get, 10 years, 20 years down the line, you're going to listen back to your first demo and you're going to be like, whoa, that's like cringeworthy. And that's okay. There is nothing wrong with
you
that.
grow and you change and you get better. And,
Exactly. All right. Jaxie, do your demos have to be tailored to different markets? Nope. Nope. In fact, I think it's good on a commercial demo to have national brands as well as regional brands. You know, so it's one of those things where it's like you might have a McDonald's spot on there, but then you have a Rochester Regional Hospital on there. You know, it's like you can have a mixture of things on there, and then you know it's pretty versatile. So, yep, just one demo. You know, we actually get that question a lot of, you know, do I have to have multiple commercial demos to show that I can do commercial characters as well as the conversational reads? And it's like, no. You can put that all on one demo, and as long as it's done right, it doesn't sound too crazy. Because I'm going to take a quick second here to say that on commercial demos, you can have too much range.
yes.
There are times that we listen to commercial demos and we're like, who is this person and what do they do? Like, what is their signature? What is their primary thing that they do? And sometimes it's not clear on a demo, and that has to be clear on a demo. You know, it's are they the everyday person? Are they more of an announcer? Are they more just they have a quirky personality? You know, there kind of has to be some sort of a through line that gives us a sense of who you are overall, and then shows us some range within that. That's not to say that you can't have one spot on your demo that is out in left field. That's totally fine, but you know.
Exactly.
All right, and let's see. So Ed said, demos, audio only or integrated with video? So I know some people do integrate with video. You absolutely don't have to. Audio only is the primary thing, you know, and most of the time we don't want the video. We just want an MP3.
I don't care what you look like. I just want to know what you sound like.
Yep. And you don't have to, you know, because otherwise you're trying to get footage and there's, you know, lots of.
And those are big files you have to send and deal with.
Issues with that. Yeah. So if there are spots that you did and they're videos, web videos, TV spots, whatever, and you have access to that, those are great things to have on your website and to share on your social media, but don't worry about putting that on a demo. All right.
I think there was one up above we missed from.
Will.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Any suggestions on approaching a commercial read that says real and conversational? Don't they all say that now in the specs? But the copy is like value, savings, and service. Choose right. Yes.
That's the eternal battle of a voiceover actor.
Yeah. I mean, come on. They have scripts that are like introducing the all new, and they're like,
talk to me like a friend.
Real. You're just talking to a friend. Yes, we battle this on a daily basis. I think
what I call VO conversational, which is how people talk in voiceover land. You know, it's not how you talk in real life to your actual friends, but it's conversational for voiceover.
Yep. I call it commercial conversational. It's like, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I always say when you see the word conversational in a spec, think of it more as relatable. Essentially, they're looking for a relatable voice. They don't want you just selling. They want somebody who relates to the audience. So I think it's one of those things where you're not going to hit the sell. So then when you get to the value, savings, and service, choose Verizon, you're not selling anything. You know, it's more of the shoulder shrug. Me and Catherine are big on shoulder shrugs, but it really does take the sell out of things. And it's just like, it's that easy. It's that great, you know? And that's a great way to keep things more relatable and conversational. So that is a huge tip that you can use, a physicality that you can use while you're
getting your body involved helps a lot.
Always, always. And yeah, switching the word conversational with the word relatable can often take away some of the like, what is conversational? Because I mean, if you listen to a conversation at a coffee shop to the people next to you, it's boring. Like actual conversations are boring. So, it's like you do have to have a
You have
little
to have
bit
some
more excitement
enthusiasm.
to it. You have to, yeah, it's like you have to have a passion for what you're talking about. And that's what's going to sell the product. It has to be a genuine excitement.
You're excited to tell
genuine
us this
interest.
information. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great question. So Brandon, I got one of the class packages with a demo at the end of it when I got started. A lot of people do, it's like, it's just, you don't know. You don't know. And also, depending on when you got started, it's like several years ago, there weren't all of the different podcasts and, people doing what we're doing right now to try to help educate people as well. So, it's totally makes sense. So time for new ones, cost is what held me back. Yes.
And yeah, different places are going to cost different amounts, Brandon. So do some research, see what's out there. A great resource is always the Voiceover resource guide too. Check that out.
Yeah. And, and he's asking, are there services aside from small business loans or something to make them more accessible? That is the hardest thing. We do offer payment plans. So we will work with you on paying it. We've done monthly payments for many people, things like that. So, if you're interested in working with us, let me know and we will set up a payment plan that actually works for you. No interest, nothing like that. Just a legit payment plan to pay the $1,300 for a commercial demo. And then, it's like we do offer discounts if you do, another demo with us down the line and that kind of a thing. We take a couple $100 off, if you do a commercial demo and an animation demo with us, even if you do them a year apart, we'll give you the discount. I am all about making it affordable for people. When I started at Voicecaster 15 years ago, demos were $1,200. So in 15 years, we've raised them $100, and that's it. And sometimes, people are like, "Oh, I don't know, you guys are pretty cheap compared to a lot of things out there." And
I think we're kind of mid-range.
Like we're less quality.
Yeah.
But listen to the demos on our website. We have.
That's the thing too. Like go with somebody that you like what they're doing. Like check out what the demos sound like. Make sure that they're doing work that you want your demo to sound like.
Yeah, because you'll easily. Nowadays it's like $2,000 to $3,000 for most demos. But like I said, I struggle. Like I'm not in this business to make money. It's like I struggle raising costs. Even for our clients, our casting fees haven't gone up ever since I've started, since I've been with Voicecaster. So, it is one of those things where we try to make things accessible, and not everybody offers payment plans. They want to be paid up front. They don't want to give you a fully produced demo and then have you potentially run off, but we do offer payment plans because I know it's an investment and I know it can be hard.
And remember, this is something that can last you about 10 years. So when you take that 1,300 and divide it by 10, suddenly it's not so bad.
Yeah. So thank you for asking that question because you're not alone. All right. Let me see if there is. Oh, and then earlier, this is a good little moment. Feel free to write any other questions that you guys have in the comments. We will definitely answer those. Brandon also mentioned earlier, he said, "Hi, congrats on the new Voicecaster lab." So I have to talk about it because we officially launched yesterday. So I know we've had the basics of VO digital course available for a little bit now. And that has been going well received. The feedback that we've gotten has been all positive, so that's great. That has now moved over to the Voicecaster Lab as well. So voicecasterlab.com. Ben actually just put it in the chat there for you. And yeah, I'm so excited. So this has been something that I have been working on, I mean, a year now. I have been filming all of these training modules for the basics class, as well as the new one that just opened up yesterday called Finding Your Authentic Voice, a casting director's guide to authentic connection. So that's exactly what we were kind of talking about with Will's question earlier, as far as the conversational. So this course is very exciting to me. I have put just my heart and soul into it. Just, designing all of the lessons, the worksheets, all kinds of stuff in there. Tons of resources. There are 20 some core modules, so training videos with worksheets, with resources, and then we have 20 plus more, bonus content videos and things like that. Things that I have pulled from classes that I've taught, workshops that I've done live, things like that. So that is all in there. It is literally, it starts with, and it's great for all levels. So people who are just getting started in voiceover, people who have been working in voiceover for 20 years. There are a lot of things in here that I touch a little bit on in like my audition techniques class, my commercial pros class. But this goes a lot further in depth with, really how to discover your voice, how to bring your voice out, how to start applying that to scripts. We talk about all of it, the do's and don'ts, vocal health, editing. It's all in there. And then on top of that, and that is lifetime access. So that is some whatever lifetime means, I guess, but you have it forever. There's no cutoff, so you can go back to it. And this content is going to be, it's stuff that was relevant 10 years ago. It's going to be relevant in another 10 years. It's literally figuring out your voice, your personality, and how to bring that to copy. And then on top of it, I decided to do something extra, which is the super most exciting part for me, is I'm going to be starting a 12-week mastermind. So it's a mastermind mentorship community. And it's all right there on the platform, the same platform as the course, so voicecasterlab.com. And it's going to have very limited seating. I already have several people signed up. But there are a few spaces left. So if that's something that you're interested in, check out Voicecaster Lab. It is going to go further in depth with the course. So we're going to talk about the course. We are doing live calls almost weekly. I think right now we have 8 planned live calls over the course of 12 weeks. So we will hop on Zoom as a group, collaborate. It's going to be accountability. We're going to work on scripts when we can, tons of Q&A. And then I'm going to be available in the community group for any questions, any feedback, anything like that, every day for those 12 weeks as well. So working very closely with me, just taking everything up, to another level. A lot of people are always like, Kelly, I wish I had you there for my auditions. I wish I just had you in my pocket. And this is a good step towards that. There are a lot of resources. I actually have a thing inside the course where it's Post-it notes of all the things that I keep telling people, like, put that on a Post-it note and put it in your booth. Well, there it is. It's right there for you to download, put it on your computer, print it out if you want to. Things like that. So the mastermind goes along with the course. And then it's something that I'll offer, a couple times a year. Obviously it's a mastermind community, so you can do it more than once. We are offering a lower rate right now for, the founding group, which is exciting. So yeah, that is our big exciting news that we announced yesterday. So I'm excited to start working with people in there as well. And then of course we have all of our other classes. I have a commercial 2 class, which is basically an advanced commercial class. Starting in a couple weeks, I do have a couple seats left in that. We have our intermediate animation and video game class starting this Sunday, and we actually still have a couple seats left in that one, which is surprising because that's always sold out.
Yeah, we only run that one maybe twice a year. So
what else do we have, Catherine?
The animation intensive, which is the one day we get to work with Marsha Goodman, who's awesome. She basically cast every cartoon you grew up watching. So that's a good one. That's on September 20th.
Emmy Award-winning casting and voice director.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and all of that's on our website, just voicecaster.com. I think Ben put stuff in there as well.
In there.
So yes, I'm
and Nora mentioned the merchandise
excited about all the fun things we have going on.
Oh,
and Nora brings up another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nora said the new merch looks great. I got my shirt this week. Yeah, we also launched a merchandise store because, and we have, of course, our logo shirts. Not that I expect everybody to walk around advertising Voicecaster, but I mean, I think we're pretty awesome.
Fun.
So, but we have so many fun shirts in there that don't say Voicecaster, so you don't have to give us free advertising.
Voiceover
They're just fun shirts.
Yeah.
They're fun voiceover shirts.
And you can get sweaters.
Yes. So yeah, check out our merch store. Everything. It's like we have.
You can get a teddy bear,
and water bottles, and
mugs.
Baby onesies. Yeah, there's teddy bear.
There's a teddy bear.
There's all kinds of fun and all different colors. So yes, definitely check that out. Ben put a link to that in the comments as well. But it's voicecaster.com/merch, and we'll have sales on that all the time, I'm sure. All right, and let me go back up and see if we have any other questions
about demos.
Oh, Nora, can those super overpriced demos be a client turnoff? Could be.
Maybe. Like I know there's one particular demo producer. Everything's like really fast clips. So it's just really bum, 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 and sometimes it can be a little like, whoa, what did I just listen to? So things like that, but
yeah. Sometimes we can tell who produced a demo by some of their sort of signature things that they do. So good or bad,
or better or worse. Yeah, exactly.
All right. All right. So I don't see any other questions. So we'll wrap up for today. And wait, we got another one. Some demo producers are advertising 6-second blitz style ads. It's a thing that is happening. So Brandon asked, some demo producers are advertising 6-second blitz style ads. Those are not liked. They not as a whole. So sometimes it is, it's like, it's great to hear that you can do that. Do you need an entire demo with that? No. I think you could put a couple of 6-second spots on a standard demo to show that you can do that. But also we want to hear that you can do longer things. It's one of those things where most people can do something for 5 or 6 seconds, but can they do it for longer? And I understand the reason for it is because there are so many 6-second spots now, right? So that's kind of the battle, where it's like there are so many 6-second cut downs now for everything online, that it can be one of those things where you could put together something like that, but that should not be your only demo if you do. And Margot, what is the process for a Spanish demo? Very similar. We pretty much have the same sort of process, where we meet with you. We talk about your signature, your strengths. We ask you all kinds of questions in the meeting just to get to know you. we already know you, so but we'll ask you all kinds of questions, and then we pull all of the scripts.
They're just in Spanish instead of in English.
Everybody. Yep, exactly. And then for the recording session, so this might be what's a little bit different, is we do have a Spanish speaking director with us. So you'll get our input. Me and Catherine are not bilingual. I wish I was, but we're not. So we do have our Spanish speaking director with us as well.
Yeah, and he'll make sure everything's sounding good, and you can discuss any pronunciation questions with him.
Exactly.
And I also we'll also default to you too, Margot, if because I'm taking copy that was already written up in Spanish, like maybe it was something we cast or came in for an audition, or I'm going through good old Google Translate, and I know those aren't perfect. So if you ever notice something's not right, I'm always we'll default to you, the expert. Nothing's set in stone. So you can edit.
And we've produced many a Spanish demos. So
we do a few every year.
All right. I don't think I missed any other questions. So, all right. Thank you all for hanging out with us this morning. If you guys ever have any questions, obviously, send them to us. Let us know. Join us live. If you're watching the replay, you can still ask questions on the replay videos, and we'll get to them, in the next round. We want to make sure that you guys are getting the information that you need, and as much as we can share to help you, that's what we're here for. So very, very happy to always be here, and at least do a live once a month. Last month was fun because we got to do 2.
Everybody see what's going on.
Yeah. So let us know if you guys have any questions. Check out voicecasterlab.com. Check out our merchandise. There's all kinds of fun stuff there. And definitely stay in touch. And we'll see you all next month.
Talk to y'all soon.
Thank you.